Good morning, everybody. Will you please take your seats for the start of the MUFPP conference. 1 minute and we will begin. I will also call on stage, if I may, the I can call you one by one, the speakers for session number 1. I'll do it later. Prenez vos places rapidement, s'il vous plaît. On va commencer dans 1 minute. Secondes. Okay, you look pretty settled to me. Bonjour, good morning, guten Morgen, buenos dias, buongiorno, and welcome to the 5th annual gathering of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. Lovely to see you all. I hope you had a very good night last night. We are in a beautiful city of Montpellier. It's a real joy for me to be here, and I'm sure many of you feel the same if you're lucky enough to live here. Lovely sunny day, so I'm sure the conference will go with a swing. Before I start, just a little homework. The exits are there and there. I hope we won't need them. Switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent. If we hear a mobile phone, you give the mayor €100, which should swell the coffers in Montpellier. Our interpreters in Spanish, French, and English are Angela, Claire, Emma, Veronica, and Andrea. I shall try to speak slowly. Je vais essayer de parler assez lentement pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas l'anglais ou le français. Je vais changer comme ça me dit. I'm Rini Wyndham, former BBC broadcaster, presenter, now your moderator for today and tomorrow. So, how many of you, avant qu'on commence, combien de vous ne vivent pas dans une ville? Levez la main. 1, 2, c'est pas beaucoup, 3, 4, c'est tout. Alors, en principe, vous venez des villes. Bon, et deuxièmement, combien de vous font croître vos légumes ou des fleurs, soit dans un jardin, soit quelque part dans votre maison? How many of you grow your own vegetables, flower? Excellent. Vegetables, fruit, flowers, good. So you have quite a good contact with nature, hooray. Okay, so the veneer of civilization is very thin and precarious. If you want to see the breakdown of civilization, just deprive a city for a week of food and you will see what happens. C'est très précaire, la situation de la nourriture dans une ville. Si on n'a pas de nourriture même pendant une semaine, il y a le chaos. It's not gone without our noticing how much climate change has become top of the agenda recently. Today, Extinction Rebellion are blocking London bridges and public buildings. It's a threat to our oceans, the increasing disasters like drought, hurricanes, wildfires, or the strong winds we're getting now. Greta Thunberg has led the way, and we are following very enthusiastically. We have to mitigate climate change. But this is not all doom and gloom, because you will see that we will have eventually a much better quality of life, cleaner air and a cleaner environment, much closer to nature, and we will stop taking from nature all the time and taking fossil fuels. We will perhaps give back to nature all the gifts she has given us for so many centuries. In the next 2 days, we'll discover the benefits of changing the way we live. We'll live a very balanced way, and we will see by the time we leave here in 2 days that we are determined to transition to a new way of much better life. More than half of us, plus d'une moitié de nous, vivent dans les villes. Le WHO dit que 9 sur 10 de nous respirent de l'air pollué. 9 sur 10 de nous. Mais ici à Montpellier, l'air est assez bien parce que vous êtes près de la mer et c'est beaucoup plus agréable que dans beaucoup du monde. Okay, so in this morning's session, we'll be hearing an overview of the whole conference. Le maire de Montpellier, notre hôte, Monsieur Philippe Sorel, va parler d'abord, et ensuite Anna Scavuzzo. Et on a aussi un troisième speaker, je crois, qui va arriver. Après, les maires, plus tard dans la matinée, vont débattre comment on va changer notre manière de vivre dans les villes et les manières pratiques qu'on peut prendre pour changer notre qualité de vie sur l'agenda 2030 des Nations Unies. After coffee and a chance for us to mingle, we'll have a session on how good ideas can be shared between cities. And from Niamey and from Rio and from Tel Aviv. This afternoon is a chance for you to break away in your little groups at separate tables, discussing population needs and food systems. All sorts of aspects are on offer, from food production to food waste, from sustainable diets to biodiversity and water production. So a very packed and rewarding day. Eh bien, on va commencer maintenant à présenter vos speakers. Je commence à présenter notre maire de Montpellier, Monsieur Philippe Sorel. C'est grâce à Monsieur Sorel que tout ça a lieu. Nous sommes très reconnaissantes. Mr. Sorel has been mayor since 2014. He has a string of qualifications. He's a dental surgeon by trade. And although many of us don't really look forward to a trip to the dentist, we will look forward to Mr. Sorel's talk. Mr. Sorel also has a wide range of other skills and knowledge, including history of art, psychology, and sociology. He's been in politics for the past 25 years. Now a dental joke, he puts his money where his mouth is. Mr. Sorel has created a climate emergency fund of about 15 million euros, especially to prepare buildings, alternative energy, and local jobs in Montpellier to make sure his town is sustainable in the future. So, without further ado, gives me great pleasure to welcome the man who will get his teeth into the subject, the Mayor of Montpellier, Monsieur Philippe Sorel.
Thank you so much, Renée. Thank you for your presentation. Mesdames et messieurs, I'm going to speak French. Voy a hablar español. Non? C'est impossible. Merci à chacun d'entre vous d'être présent à Montpellier. Votre présence nous honore. Messieurs les ministres, Madame la première adjointe de la ville de Milan, qui représente Monsieur le maire de Milan, qui est à l'origine du pacte de Milan pendant l'exposition universelle de 2015. Monsieur le commissaire du gouvernement français, Thomas Le Sueur, que j'accueille avec grand plaisir, qui représente le gouvernement français, Monsieur le préfet de l'Hérault. Je salue tous les maires qui arrivent de bien loin pour certains et des 5 continents. Merci à tous les organismes, FAO, ONU, UNESCO, toutes les associations qui travaillent avec nous sur cette grande thématique de l'alimentation durable. Le pacte de Milan, c'est un engagement des villes qui, en 2015, 47, dont Montpellier, ont voulu dire de façon très claire: nous nous engageons à protéger les terres à fort potentiel, nous valoriserons les circuits de proximité, les circuits courts, et nous lutterons contre le gaspillage alimentaire qui est un fléau mondial. Ainsi, ces villes se sont réunies une fois par an, d'abord à Milan, puis à Valencia, en Espagne, puis à Rome, en Italie, et l'an passé à Tel Aviv, et je salue les élus de Tel Aviv qui sont présents, où Montpellier a été choisi au travers d'un groupe de villes qui étaient candidates pour recevoir cette année les élus du pacte de Milan et les représentants des villes. Plus de 200 villes ont signé le pacte de Milan, 200 villes mondiales. À Montpellier sont présentes 91 villes. Qu'il me soit permis véritablement, sincèrement, très amicalement, de les en remercier. La moitié pratiquement des villes du pacte de Milan sont présentes à Montpellier. Et je sais que beaucoup sont venus de très loin. Spasiba, si, grazie. Dankeschön. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Merci à tous. L'intérêt de ce rassemblement, c'est de, à nouveau, confronter les expériences des villes qui assurent sur le terrain, avec les citoyens, la lutte contre le dérèglement climatique. Et l'alimentation est un formidable levier pour injecter de façon transversale toutes ces données afin que les comportements évoluent, que les comportements changent pour us, for you and for the planet. Pour nous, pour vous et pour la planète. Il ne pouvait y avoir un meilleur endroit que Montpellier pour recevoir le pacte de Milan. En effet, l'ADN de Montpellier est tout à fait disposé car il intègre dans son tissu de grandes écoles 7000 chercheurs qui, depuis les premiers temps de l'agronomie, de l'agriculture, du climat, ont travaillé sur ces problématiques. À ce jour, 3000 chercheurs travaillent au quotidien sur l'agriculture et sur l'agronomie. Et il était naturel que Montpellier reçoive les villes du pacte de Milan. Demain, nous signerons ensemble la déclaration de Montpellier, qui est un texte qui est celui du pacte de Milan, mais qui a été amendé, travaillé par toutes les villes et qui aboutit à un consensus qui a pour intérêt de décliner le premier texte du pacte de Milan à l'aune des 17 objectifs de développement durable de l'ONU et de l'agenda 2030. ce qui permettra d'avoir un langage universel pour le pacte de Milan. Et nous le ferons ensemble demain. Enfin, j'ai eu l'honneur d'être convié à l'ONU par le secrétaire général, M. Gutiérrez, pour le dernier sommet exceptionnel du climat, pour présenter le manifeste de Montpellier pour une ville écologique et humaniste. Ce manifeste vous sera proposé en français et en anglais et il permet de proposer quelques orientations déclinables dans toutes les villes du monde qui sont le fruit de notre expérience montpelliéraine et que nous souhaitons partager. Ces manifestes également ont été déclinés avec les 17 objectifs de développement durable de l'ONU. Enfin, cher Winnie, vous indiquiez tout à l'heure importante pour le Climate Emergency Fund, qui est un fonds spécial qui est pour lutter contre les aléas du climat. Ce fonds, nous l'avons destiné entre 10 et 15 millions d'euros dans le budget 2020 à lutter contre les passoires thermiques et aussi à valoriser tous les programmes de conversion énergétique sur l'énergie solaire. Voilà 2 petits exemples que nous avons présentés à l'ONU et qui ont fait que Montpellier a pu se faire entendre dans ce concert mondial. Montpellier a toujours partagé sa connaissance avec les villes. Elle attend aussi des villes qu'elles partagent la leur avec elle. C'est bien le but, car ce sont les maires qui fabriquent le monde. Les États donnent les grandes directives, assurent les compétences régaliennes, mais ce sont les maires qui, au quotidien, ont la responsabilité de la vie sociale, de la citoyenneté et de toutes les actions en faveur du climat. Voilà ce que je voulais vous dire pour vous recevoir, vous dire que Montpellier est très honoré de vous compter parmi ses citoyens l'espace de ce week-end et que nous avons dans le monde beaucoup de travail à accomplir ensemble, mais je sais que la volonté des maires est bien présente et que, conjuguée, elle est capable de de changer, de révolutionner les habitudes, les comportements, les techniques, les méthodes, sans violence, mais avec obstination. Merci beaucoup.
Merci énormément, Monsieur le maire, pour un début super. C'est très inspirant. Thank you very much for such an inspiring start, such an enabling start. And your city, Montpellier, will be amongst the leading cities which will help all the cities of the world eventually transition into a sustainable way of life and the future. Thank you. Our next speaker is very familiar with the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. She comes from Milan, the home of the MUFPP, where she's deputy mayor. We welcome Anna Scavuzzo onto the stage. Lovely. Anna represents the mayor of Milan, Giuseppe Sala, who is in fact president of the Milan Pact. Mrs. Scavuzzo is food policy coordinator for the mayor. She has a master's degree in physics, and she's worked in applied information technology, nice combination, also public administration and distance education in a large publishing group. She's been a teacher and teaches in several Milan high schools. Her work also includes being councillor for education for the municipality of Milan and also doing voluntary work in the service of education. So it's a great pleasure that you will be teaching us in the next few minutes what we should be doing. Thank you very much, Anna Scavuzzo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Buongiorno. Buongiorno a tutti e a tutte. Grazie. First of all, Thank you to Mayor Sorel. Thank you, Mayor, for your kind words, for your precise words, and for the wonderful hospitality your city is offering to us. We are thankful for the warm welcome and for the impressive work of all this year that we had to prepare together for this annual gathering. Thanks to you, to your city, and to your team. Thank you very much. And dear authorities, dear mayors, city representatives, dear friends of Milan Policy Pact, I have the honor and the pleasure to be here today at this annual gathering and the Mayor Summit to speak on behalf of my mayor, Giuseppe Sala, that is chair of Milan Urban Food Policy Pact since the beginning. It's a joy, and at the same time, I think it's a recognition of our extraordinary collective effort to be together to celebrate the 5th edition of this annual meeting and also the 1st of the award. And tonight we had time to spend some words about this. Since the launch of Milan Pact, the first pact on urban food policy in 2015, we have gone a long way together. Today we are more than 200 signatory cities, and in this last year, 2019, so far, 25 new cities have joined forces around the same commitments. Most of them will have a celebratory signature ceremony tomorrow, and I'm very happy to be with you in this ceremony. Your presence here, our presence here, over 100 of practices submitted to the Milan Pact Award 2019, a rich program of 3 days together for this gathering, successful regional fora held earlier in Niamey, in Rio de Janeiro, in Ghent. I think that all this shows our common work, and our common work is processing and progressing steadily. Thank you very much for all these efforts. I want to thank for this common effort, but also for its promising results. The experience of these first years have supported the growth in membership and the refining in terms of city-to-city exchanges and collective development all over the world. Our network have cities all over the world. I think it's very important because we have together big cities and small cities, metropolitan cities, but also all over in each continent. Each city can have a role in our network. Our internal governance has been empowered, and I want to thank the word of the city of the first steering committee. I would like to commend their commitment and thank them for their efforts. Thanks to Abidjan, to Astana, Atene, Baltimore, Belo Horizonte, Buenos Aires, Dakar, Nairobi, Sao Paulo, Tel Aviv-Yafo, Toronto, and Valencia. Thanks to these cities, steering committees, cities 2016-18. Thank you very much. And I want to spend some words to welcome the city that you have recently elected for the next steering committee, 2019-2021, so that all of you, all of us, know which cities to refer in each region. For Africa region, we have Abidjan, Dakar, and Nairobi. For Europe, we have Almere and Valencia. For Latin America, Belo Horizonte, Rio de Janeiro, and Sant'Antonio de Areco. For North America, New Haven and Toronto. For East and Southeast Asia and Oceania, Seoul. And last but not least, for South and West Asia, Tel Aviv-Yafo. Later this morning, the elected chair of the steering committee, the city of Tel Aviv-Yafo, will introduce a proposal for a new mechanism of collaboration among Milan Pact cities. We are going up also in the method of work, and I think it's very important for us also to growing up in our way of being together. cities will be able, more than once, to work together in thematic groups according to their most pressing interests and needs. I think that our role will be to bring back to our cities, adapt and replicate the practices and the ideas that we found most helpful. I think that exchange, share, and act together is the spirit of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. And with this spirit, we all look forward to the Milan Pact Awards ceremony that will take place this evening. The sharing behind the awards is a powerful way for city-to-city support, dissemination, and to spread all over the world best practices. We all have both the opportunity and the responsibility to contribute to higher goals. The theme of this year's gathering focuses, as Mayor Sorel said before, on Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. They are our common framework to address global challenges. I think that nowadays it's clear that cities have been recognized as fundamental actors to achieve the SDGs. I think also thanks to our work in Milan Food Policy Pact cities. We know, we cities, we mayor, we representative of our city, we know that our daily work is focused on responding to our citizen needs. In doing so, we contribute to advancing the SDGs agenda day by day, also with the fundamental people engagement. This is the key of our activity, to stay together with citizens in focusing attention on SDGs. We are glad to host here representatives of different United Nations entities, and we need to further strengthen our mutually beneficial cooperation. Last but not least, I am also glad to welcome and thank city networks, civil society organizations, dedicated professionals, university and research centers, and all those actors who realized how powerful is the link between urban food policy, environment, and well-being of people of all ages, children, young people, and elderly ones. The more we are in harnessing the potential of better food systems, the more benefits we will be able to share. And to quote Professor Yunus, Nobel laureate for Peace, that will present his keynote speech tomorrow, he said, "Changes are products of intensive efforts." And I think the positive changes that we see as the products of our collective intensive efforts are our most motivating rewards. As Vice Mayor in charge of food policy for the city of Milan, I know what it means to steer urban food policy processes in our city. It's not so simple. But I think that we have responsibilities, chances, opportunities, and we have to act day by day with a very precise direction of activity. I am once more refreshed by the richness of the ideas and practices we can exchange. And so I wish you all a successful, a fruitful, and an enriching work. Thank you very much since now, and have 3 days together. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Anna Scavuzzo. You in Milan put the drop of water in the ocean, and the ripples have spread right the way through the world, which is proved by the number of cities that have joined since your pioneering impetus and beginning. Thank you for such a rousing start. Our third speaker from the floor today is Thomas Le Sueur. He's Interministerial Delegate, General Commissioner for Sustainable Development at the Ministry for Ecological and Solidarity Transition in France. So give a big welcome to Thomas Le Sueur.
Thank you very much. I'll speak in French. Monsieur le maire de Montpellier, cher Philippe Sorel, messieurs les ministres, mesdames et messieurs les maires, les adjoints aux maires, les représentants des maires, monsieur le préfet, mesdames et messieurs participants à cette conférence. J'interviens ici comme représentant de la ministre de la Transition écologique et solidaire. Je suis délégué interministériel au développement durable et à ce titre en charge de la conception, de la mise en œuvre et du suivi de la stratégie française de mise en œuvre de l'agenda 2030 des objectifs de développement durable. Ce rôle s'inscrit dans une action, et je dirais même une interaction avec l'ensemble des acteurs. La feuille de route française qui traduit, dans le contexte particulier de la France, les objectifs de développement durable, les 17 objectifs qui sont déclinés chez nous en 6 enjeux qui croisent l'ensemble de ces objectifs, eh bien, cette feuille de route vient d'être présentée dans le contexte du premier sommet de chefs d'État qui s'est tenu à New York dans le prolongement du sommet climat et de l'ouverture de l'Assemblée générale de l'ONU. Et donc, dans ce contexte, la France, comme d'autres pays, a présenté la déclinaison nationale des objectifs de développement durable et de l'agenda 2030, qui est urgente puisqu'il nous reste à peine 10 ans pour agir. J'insiste sur le fait que cette feuille de route est française, c'est-à-dire qu'elle nous concerne tous les acteurs, les villes, bien entendu, qui ont été étroitement associées à son élaboration, mais aussi les entreprises qui s'y développent, mais aussi les citoyens à travers les associations et les organisations non gouvernementales. Travail collaboratif qui permet aujourd'hui de disposer d'un cadre commun de mise en œuvre de l'agenda 2030. Vous avez choisi de faire le lien entre l'agriculture et l'alimentation urbaine et l'ensemble des objectifs de développement durable et l'agenda 2030. Ce lien que vous établissez entre le pacte de Milan et l'agenda 2030 me paraît particulièrement fécond, riche et pertinent. Et je voudrais vous dire en 3 points qu'il me semble, comme responsable de la stratégie française de développement durable, que c'est à la fois le bon moment, le bon échelon et la bonne approche. C'est le bon moment de faire ce lien, car, je l'ai dit, il nous reste 10 ans. Et 10 ans, c'est court, et s'il y a un mot d'ordre qui a émergé à l'ONU et que chacun a en tête, c'est que l'urgence est d'agir, et d'agir en ne laissant personne de côté. Mais si l'urgence est d'agir, encore faut-il savoir comment. Et l'agenda 2030, grammaire universelle, matrice globale des enjeux qui fait le lien entre chacun des sujets, car il n'y a pas de possibilité de traiter les enjeux de pauvreté indistinctement ou séparément des enjeux climatiques, des enjeux de préservation de la biodiversité, des enjeux de l'accès à l'eau, des enjeux de l'accès au logement, etc., etc. Tout est lié et tout se lie particulièrement au sein des villes, au sein des cités. Alors, comment agir pour ne laisser personne de côté ? C'est là que, c'est mon deuxième point, je crois que vous intervenez au bon échelon. Je ne vais pas vous assommer de chiffres que vous connaissez parfaitement et qui ont été rappelés d'ailleurs en partie en introduction. 3,5 milliards de personnes en ville, perspective à 5 milliards d'ici l'échéance de l'agenda 2030. Les villes concentrent 70% des émissions de CO2, à peu près la même proportion de la consommation d'énergie. Les villes sont au cœur de notre vie moderne et des enjeux que cette vie moderne a induits, qui émergent, dont la prise de conscience devient universelle, les enjeux climatiques, les enjeux de préservation de la biodiversité, mais les enjeux aussi du vivre ensemble et de la cohésion sociale. Mais si les villes sont en partie le lieu d'émergence et de prise de conscience de ces difficultés et de ces enjeux globaux, c'est aussi le lieu des solutions. C'est aussi le lieu de la concentration de ces solutions, du savoir, de l'innovation, et de l'innovation concrète, de l'innovation précise, de l'innovation pratique, celle qui touche à la vie quotidienne, celle qui touche à nos modes de vie. Ce lieu de concrétisation, il est rendu possible parce que la concentration permet des partenariats. Je crois que c'est un mot-clé et vous l'incarnez par la diversité des participants à cette réunion et à ce forum. Nous avons besoin de partenariats multipartites pour changer la réalité. Car c'est bien ça le défi posé par l'agenda 2030, et je veux le dire avec force, c'est comme ça que c'est conçu en France, nous devons changer de modèle. Nous sommes tous, ça a été dit avec force dans le rapport du GSDR, le Global Sustainable Development Report à New York, nous sommes tous des pays en voie de développement durable. Voilà qui nous unit de par le monde. Alors chacun part de là où il est, mais nous avons tous à progresser et nous devons changer ce modèle de développement et nous devons le changer concrètement, pas à pas. Schématiquement, et ça a été dit par monsieur le maire de Montpellier, mais je veux y insister, le modèle que nous devons développer, il doit être plus circulaire, sortir de l'économie linéaire pour aller vers l'économie circulaire. Il doit être davantage en circuit court et donc privilégier le local, et il doit être plus inclusif. Quand on ramasse, quand on rassemble, quand on tient ces trois axes, ces trois exigences, quand on les met au centre du débat en les mettant comme un principe d'action, eh bien, c'est clair un chemin vers un autre modèle de développement. Et donc c'est pour ça que appréhender le sujet de l'alimentation urbaine au filtre et en référence à l'agenda 2030 me paraît être particulièrement pertinent et la bonne méthode pour mettre en œuvre l'agenda 2030. Pourquoi ? Tout simplement parce que les objectifs de développement durable sont globaux. Et donc se pose toujours une question de par où commencer ? Comment faire ? Comment les articuler ? Chacun a conscience qu'il faut réussir à tenir l'ensemble, mais comment procéder ? Eh bien, le choix que vous faites ici me semble extrêmement fécond et intéressant à suivre. Vous choisissez une politique, vous choisissez un angle, l'alimentation urbaine. Comment la garantir ? Il a été mentionné la précarité dans laquelle l'approvisionnement et la gestion de cet enjeu majeur dans les villes peut se trouver. Eh bien, vous choisissez cette politique, vous l'examinez, et au fond, vous la passez au filtre de l'agenda 2030, vous la passez au filtre des ODD en se disant, prenons toute la chaîne, prenons tous les enjeux, et regardons comment ils interagissent avec chacun des ODD, avec chacun des objectifs de développement durable, et que pouvons-nous améliorer ? Améliorer, ça veut dire davantage servir chacun de ces objectifs, ou tout au moins, ne pas trop y nuire. Car il n'y a pas de solution magique. Vivre, se développer, ça a des incidences. Ça a des incidences sur le climat, ça a des incidences sur la nature, ça a des incidences sur les équilibres économiques. Il n'y a pas de modèle parfait, mais on peut l'optimiser, mais on peut l'améliorer si on tient l'ensemble des objectifs, et encore une fois, pas de façon globale et désincarnée, mais en partant d'une politique particulière, et celle de l'alimentation est particulièrement riche. Par cette méthode, vous avez commencé, mais vous allez poursuivre et accentuer une transformation de modèle qui doit permettre à la fois de répondre à ces objectifs de développement durable, mais tout en préservant les équilibres. Car il n'y a pas de grand soir. Vous le savez, comme responsables locaux, les choses se font progressivement. Il faut aller vite, il y a une urgence, mais il faut y aller en préservant les équilibres. Voilà ce que je voulais vous dire en quelques mots pour saluer votre démarche, saluer votre travail, saluer votre engagement. Je crois que transformer nos villes, changer de modèle, tout en renforçant la cohésion sociale, c'est véritablement le défi que vous relevez et dont un État comme la France a besoin que les villes s'emparent, car sans les villes, nous ne pourrons pas réussir les promesses de l'agenda 2030. Donc, je veux terminer en vous souhaitant des vœux de succès dans vos responsabilités, vous dire combien l'État considère que les territoires, les villes françaises, mais également dans le monde entier, car tout est lié et nos destins sont liés, eh bien, sont essentiels et irremplaçables pour réussir ce défi collectif qui est l'atteinte des objectifs de développement durable dans le cadre de l'agenda 2030. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Thomas Le Sueur. Merci d'avoir renforcé les bonnes idées qui sont déjà venues ce matin. We've had a very rousing and promising start from all three speakers, Philippe Sorel from Montpellier, Anna Scavuzzo and Thomas Le Sueur. Merci à tous les trois. Et maintenant, on va tout de suite aborder le prochain sujet sur votre agenda parce que le temps presse. Hélas, les speakers seront réduits dans ce qu'ils ont à dire, mais on fera notre mieux. Alors, on prend 1 minute pendant que les speakers viennent sur scène pour the mayor's debate. If you can come onto the stage already, please, all the mayors for the mayor's debate. Monsieur Sorel et toutes les invités, Raymond Javier Mestre, Armand Beunde, and Manuel Araujo. While they are coming, I just have a quick announcement. There will be a break for a photo opportunity straight after the mayor's debate, very short break. This afternoon, for the second theme session, Group D will become a cooperation in the context of climate change. That is the message I have here. If you can go in order, please. So it will be Armand Beunde first, Ramon Javier Mestre number 2, Philippe Sorel number 3, Manuel Araujo number 4, and Erin Mcdonald number 5. Thank you. Excellent. So, I'm sorry to rush everybody, but we've got so much exciting material today and we don't want to lose any of it. So we're now on to cities and the 2030 agenda, how we act. C'est déjà 5 ans maintenant depuis que le MUFPP a été commencé à Milan et plus de 2000 villes maintenant ont déjà signé. It's now a well-established framework and has spawned annual gatherings, regional fora, and its own awards, the Milan Pact Awards scheme. Since then, we've had quite a long time to digest a host of ideas, look at our own cities, what action needs to be taken, most importantly in the light of the climate crisis. The climate crisis, le changement du climat, is not a natural phenomenon, but a human-made problem created through industrialization and urban living. There are 10 short years left for us to fulfill the 17 development goals of the 2030 Agenda. So this debate, called Cities and the 2030 Agenda, How We Act, will be focusing on concrete action. What is our vision for the future? How we live? How will we work differently? How can we share solutions together, inspiring actions to motivate other cities around the world? By focusing on food, we actually unite all the 17 developing goals of the UN agenda. Fighting poverty, la pauvreté, le changement de climat, la malnutrition, tous se réunissent quand on parle de la nourriture. And since the mayors are the best people closest to the citizens of their cities, they're in the best position to give impetus. Obviously, we need to radically change our systems and way of life, but this is potentially exciting and something we can all look forward to. If we act intelligently, daily life will ultimately be a great improvement on the way we live now. Much healthier, cleaner air, calmer, fairer. Not a great difference between rich and poor, but a nice, pleasant life for everybody. It is possible. Reducing levels of CO2 does not mean depriving and punishing ourselves. It will reward us. We will have cleaner, litter-free cities, less waste, less traffic pollution, safer travel on foot, by bicycle and public transport, more sustainable buildings, and above all, our food will be better, sourced more locally, possibly organic, less pesticide, more nutrition in the food, a win-win situation. That is what we're aiming for in this conference. We're joined by a wonderful group of mayors here, by Armand Bedouina from Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso, from Ramon Javier Mestre, Mayor of Cordoba, Argentina. Of course, Philippe Sorel needs no introduction. Manuel de la Arujo, Mayor of Quelimane in Mozambique, and from Erin Mcdonald from New York City. So let's start now with our speakers. Sorry to cut them short when I've been so long. Armand Deoundé has a background in business as well as in politics. He began his career in the Revolution of August 1983, which gave birth to the previous République de Haute-Volta to today's Burkina Faso. As a business administrator, he was the head of several companies, so I had in business. In politics, he's a founding member of the centre-left party movement of the People for Progress. Armand is Vice President of the Association for Integrated Sustainable Development of Burkina Faso. So let's start with a simple assumption. We know that we should eat less sugar and processed food, more vegetables, fruit, but how do we convince the public to change their eating habits? In Africa, there's a disturbing rise in ultra-processed food, salt, sugar, fat, too much, and of course, a result is Western illnesses, diabetes, heart problems, obesity, and so on. Mayor Bayounde recently wrote an article for Le Monde advocating better nutrition in African cities. So to hear the problems in Ouagadougou and what Armand Bayounde is doing, over to you, Armand. C'est à vous, Armand.
Merci beaucoup. Avant toute chose, je voulais remercier le maire de Montpellier pour l'organisation de ce forum et l'accueil qui nous a été réservé depuis notre arrivée. Si je comprends bien votre question, c'est sur l'alimentation et comment faire en sorte que les populations aient accès à une alimentation beaucoup plus équilibrée. C'est-à-dire que nous avons constaté au Burkina Faso que beaucoup de gens mangent dans la rue. Et les repas de rue sont souvent préparés avec beaucoup de sel pour les repas salés ou beaucoup de sucre pour cacher un peu la qualité. Donc, nous avons fait ce constat et nous avons décidé de faire une grande campagne pour la diminution de la consommation du sel et du sucre dans notre pays. Et il faut dire que nos villes se développent à une vitesse telle que le niveau de vie, malheureusement, ne se développe pas au même rythme. Le niveau de vie reste très bas. Donc, les gens travaillent de longues heures, se nourrissant exclusivement que de ces nourritures qui sont préparées dans la rue. Donc, c'est dans l'hygiène que nous apportons à ces repas de rue que nous faisons améliorer le repas dans la rue. Merci.
Thank you very much. Grand merci, Armand, d'avoir été court et sur le point. C'est très apprécié, j'apprécie beaucoup. Et maintenant, on passe de l'Afrique à Latin America, à Amérique latine. On sait que beaucoup de villes d'Amérique latine ont déjà promouvoir les diètes I'll go on in English, it's much easier. So they have promoted in Latin America already sustainable diets to fight obesity. But unfortunately, in Latin America as well, obesity is on the rise. Ramon Javier Mestre is a qualified Argentinian lawyer as well as a politician. He's been mayor of Cordoba since December 2011. And Ramon, you're the second generation mayor, because your father was also mayor for 8 years himself in 1983. Great. We know that many Latin American cities actively promote sustainable diets to fight obesity, but unfortunately, malheureusement, l'obésité est en croissance malgré les efforts que vous faites dans les pays de l'Amérique latine, comme on a vu dans le recent MUFPP Regional Forum in Rio de Janeiro. So we look forward to hearing about initiatives being taken in Cordoba, Argentina, to fight child obesity, obesity amongst children, and overweight, as well as adults. And we look forward to hearing from you, Ramon. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias. Muy buenos días. Gracias, René, por la presentación. Por supuesto, al alcalde Philippe Sorel y a todos ustedes por permitirnos participar de este momento tan importante a nivel mundial, donde los alcaldes, los prefeitos, los intendentes buscamos fundamentalmente que nos visibilicen, que nos escuchen, porque sin duda que los cambios se producen en las ciudades, sean pequeñas, sean medianas, sean grandes. Pero lo importante es instrumentar políticas que puedan producir los cambios culturales para lograr así los objetivos del desarrollo sostenible de este pacto de Milán que hemos firmado y también, por supuesto, llegar al 2030 de la mejor manera posible. Pero sin duda que, como bien lo dijo René, hace falta cambios radicales, es decir, de raíz. Por eso nosotros en Córdoba, en la Argentina, allí al fin del mundo, en América al sur, hemos instrumentado políticas para tratar de combatir, contrarrestar enfermedades, entre ellas no transmisibles, es decir, aquellas que están vinculadas al sobrepeso, a la obesidad, y hemos entendido que el disparador siempre está, de alguna u otra manera, vinculado directamente con los niños. Es decir, desde el gobierno municipal y a través de la educación y la salud en las escuelas, hemos promocionado las cantinas saludables. Cantinas saludables que tienen como objetivo tratar de concientizar cuáles son aquellos alimentos que deben de consumir desde temprana edad, porque después de haber firmado el Pacto de Milán y después de haber hecho estudios, nos encontramos que en nuestra ciudad, en Córdoba, el 27% de los niños de 4 años relevados tenían este problema de la obesidad o del sobrepeso. Y ustedes dirán, ¿qué son las cantinas saludables? Bueno, básicamente las cantinas escolares saludables en cada escuela, nosotros lo que hacemos es trabajar para buscar consensos, no solamente en las escuelas públicas, en las escuelas privadas, buscando la calidad nutricional, buscando que se consuma más verdura, buscando evitar las bebidas energizantes, las azucaradas, buscando todas aquellos alimentos que están producidos que tengan un bajo contenido, que tenga grasa o que en definitiva pueda mejorar todo lo que tiene que ver con esta concientización. A esto le hemos agregado un trabajo muy importante de educación en materia de huertas comunitarias, que le hemos hecho en las escuelas, pero también, yo recién levanté la mano cuando René preguntaba quiénes de los presentes tenemos huertas. Y yo intenté comenzar dando el ejemplo, no solamente por ser un servidor público, sino porque creo, y estoy absolutamente convencido, que esto comienza por casa. Y con mi mujer y con mis hijos tenemos una huerta en nuestra casa. Y muchas veces consumimos los alimentos que nosotros mismos producimos.
Muy bien.
Y esto también, de alguna manera, uno va generando una concientización por lo tremendo de lo que aquí hemos escuchado, por el enorme desafío de lo que significa el consumo de los alimentos, los desperdicios de los alimentos que no se consumen, y fundamentalmente por el aumento de la población que de aquí a 15 o 20 años, sin dudas, si no instrumentamos políticas en las ciudades y en general en todos los espacios en nuestro planeta, vamos a tener grandes inconvenientes que ya hoy lo vivimos en términos de cambio climático. Quiero por último no dejar de mencionar una política también que hemos instrumentado, como ya lo llevó adelante en Nueva York, en los Estados Unidos, el Banco de Alimentos. En nuestra ciudad, más de 500.000 kilos de alimentos que no son utilizados, los distribuimos en distintos espacios que realmente tienen necesidades y de esta manera tratamos de contribuir con nuestro granito de arena para combatir el hambre y la pobreza. Muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad y por este tiempo.
Y muchísimas gracias a usted también, Ramón. Muy interesante. Creo que todo el mundo quiere comer a su casa con ustedes, con los productos de su jardín. Muchas gracias. Bien, maintenant, on va retourner en français, c'est mieux en anglais, vous avez déjà eu le plaisir d'entendre notre maire de Montpellier, M. Philippe Sorel, mais c'est notre hôte pour toute la journée. Mais pour vous rappeler, M. Sorel est un dentiste qualifié, et aussi avec des qualifications dans l'art, psychologie et sociologie. Eh bien, les gens qui habitent loin des villes, qui habitent loin de la nature, par contre, ne savent même pas d'où vient leur nourriture, très souvent. Il y a des écoliers qui ne savent même pas que le lait vient d'une vache. Ils croient que c'est le lait, ça vient dans une bouteille. Alors, il y a beaucoup d'éducation à faire conscience de la nature, même si on vit dans le béton dans une ville. There's also the trouble of pesticides. I know that in Sweden, for instance, you are not allowed to use pesticides in public gardens or even in your own garden at home without a special license. Maybe one day this will be true throughout the world. I hope so. Mr. Sorel, I know vous êtes a committed agroecologist, and we look forward to hearing more about comment les gens dans votre ville Montpellier pouvaient être nourris par une forme d'agriculture beaucoup plus soutenable. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. On voit bien à l'intervention des différents maires qui sont présents et qui représentent à la fois leur ville, leur pays et leur continent, que les problématiques sont différentes, parce que les histoires des villes sont toutes différentes. Mais ils ont en commun la proximité avec les familles, avec les enfants, avec les citoyens, et cela leur donne une forme de langage qui est intelligible par l'ensemble des maires de la planète. Ce que nous avons fait, je ne devais pas rentrer dans le détail pour ne pas vous abreuver de politique locale, mais quand même quelques exemples pour valoriser ce que nous avons pris comme décision. Mais je crois que la plus importante des décisions que nous avons prises depuis le début de notre exercice, c'est de sacraliser dans la métropole de Montpellier 2/3 de l'espace pour l'agriculture, l'arboriculture, la viticulture et l'environnement. 2/3 de cet espace en ne sacrifiant qu'un seul tiers pour l'urbanisation. Cela pourrait être un vœu pieux qui s'arrête à de bonnes intentions, mais nous sommes en train, et nous avons commencé, de traduire en termes d'urbanisme l'aspect coercitif de la décision. Ce qui signifie que les 31 communes de la métropole seront tenues de ne pas construire dans des endroits où les terres sont à fort potentiel et où elles doivent être réservées pour l'agriculture et la viticulture. C'est la première fois que nous prononçons de façon unanime sur un document comme celui-ci, mais qui va régir les 50 ans à venir, car l'objectif de la métropole de Montpellier, c'est de pouvoir atteindre l'autonomie alimentaire dans les 50 ans à venir, autrement dit, de produire les denrées dont nous avons besoin pour satisfaire, en termes d'alimentation, à proximité, les populations dont nous avons la charge. Cela se traduit immédiatement par la valorisation des circuits courts, par le marché d'intérêt national et également par les cultures que nous souhaitons valoriser, en particulier le bio, qui devient l'un des principes prioritaires dans les cantines des écoles de la ville, que nous avons passé à 20% et qui sera à 50% à 2020. Quand on dit 50%, je pourrais dire 100%, mais si je disais 100%, ça serait mentir. Le changement d'habitude, la transition écologique, la transition énergétique, il faut la faire vite, mais dire tout de suite, c'est du populisme, parce que ce n'est pas possible.
C'est vrai.
Il y a des règles de droit, il y a des règles de république, il y a des règles différentes entre les pays, il y a la propriété, qui est un droit naturel en France et que l'on ne peut pas négocier. Donc, le changement climatique le plus vite possible, ok, mais dans un cadre légal qui respecte, je dirais, tous les équilibres, et en particulier les équilibres humains qui découlent de la vie que nous avons forgée par l'histoire dans nos villes qui sont toutes différentes et à la fois toutes très proches les unes des autres.
Okay. Super. Merci beaucoup, Philippe. Il y a beaucoup de points très valables dans un très court temps que vous avez eu. L'idée de 2/3 pour l'agriculture, c'est très... J'espère que le gouvernement central à Paris écoute la même chose. En Angleterre, c'est Londres qui dicte où on va construire dans le pays. Alors ici, vous avez plus d'autonomie, j'espère. Et dans 50 ans, si vous êtes totalement indépendant dans votre ville pour la nourriture, ça sera le rêve. Et le bio dans les cantines, ça c'est très faisable. Et j'entends à peu près la même chose de vous deux là. J'espère toutes ces bonnes idées, ce n'est qu'un début. C'est un début. Ils sont très inspirants, mais on devrait faire beaucoup, beaucoup plus encore. So now we return to Africa for our fourth speaker, Mr. Manuel de Araujo, Mayor of Quelimane in Mozambique. Previously, he worked at Amnesty International on policing and human rights, droits humains. He was also on the board of several other global organizations. So it'd be interesting to hear from you, Mr. Araujo, what is the daily diet of the average family in Quelimane, and also how hard is it for people to have proper nutrition? How can they access the food they need? We're looking forward to hearing more about nutrition in Mozambique and what you're doing to improve the situation in Quelimane. Over to you, Manuel de Araujo.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Mayor Philip Sorel for hosting us here, and also to Deputy Mayor Anna Scavuzo for all the support that Milan municipality has been giving to my city and to the people I do represent. What I'm going to share here is what I think is a very innovative and quite unique project that we are developing with the support, as I mentioned, with Milan municipality. This project came about because we realized that in Mozambique, 52% of people are malnourished. And this has got all the imaginable implications, both for child, for the women, but also for the society overall. And what I'm going to share here is a different perspective, because differently from other mayors or from the most of people here are concerned with, it may be a result of overconsumption. While what I'm bringing here is an example on the other side of the equation, because actually it has to do with malnutrition and underconsumption. As I mentioned here, it's not about having people overweight, but actually it's having people not having enough, not only to eat, but also to nourish themselves. And the project we are implementing is unique in the sense that it is influencing on both sides of the production equation, both on the supply and on the demand side. And what we do, we use food waste and actually, indeed, other waste to create compost. And by doing that, we distribute that compost to farmers, and also we teach the farmers on better techniques to improve not only their production, but also their productivity. By acting and by changing the behavior and the way farmers do produce their produce, then we are helping them to move in the ladder for a better and more sustainable kind of agriculture. But we also support the farmers in the process of moving their produce from the production fields to the market. And by that, we intervene on the mobility phase. And by mobility, because Quelimane is the biking capital of Mozambique, we act on the climate to promote climate awareness by investing on non-motorized means of transport to take those foods from the fields to the market. But we also are investing and we are working with not only the farmers, but those who buy the farmers' products. By that, we managed to intervene in several markets by improving sanity, improving the way the products are exposed, but also by teaching techniques to the vendors that would maximize their time, but also maximize the price of the products that they are doing there. We also use food waste to produce energy through a cooperation that we have with local universities and other research institutions in my city. And we think that by doing that, given that Quelimane has got about 450,000 people, we manage both to improve not only the quantity of goods that are produced, but also we manage to improve the productivity, making an enormous change and also decreasing the number of malnourished people. So by working with farmers on all the value chain, from production, selling, and also for those who are buying the products, because we organize workshops on how best to mix the available food to increase the potential of having or of diminishing the malnutrition levels that are rampant in my country. Thank you very much.
Some very good lessons there. Thank you, Manuel, for other cities, like especially dealing with food waste. If there's undernourishment in a country, of course, that waste should be used to spread the nourishment, but also I like the fact that you use it for energy as well, and that your vehicles in agriculture are also powered not with polluting carbon things, but naturally powered. That is very good indeed. We can learn quite a few lessons already from the different cities. Thank you. And our final speaker, before a very quick general discussion, is Erin Mcdonald, who hails from the USA. We're crossing continents rapidly, Africa, Latin America, Europe, now back to the USA. Erin is Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer for New York City. We've heard from 4 mayors across the globe with their vision, but how does this political encouragement translate into actions from a technical point of view? We've been looking at food policy, but it can't just be looked at in isolation. So how does New York City food policy work in terms of governance? What's it like in practice? What kind of strategy do you have in New York? Erin, I'm looking forward to your talk. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor, for having us. It's been a pleasure. The New York City representatives are trying to figure out how we can work remotely from here, so it would be great if we can chat about that after. But I want to answer the question from the perspective of giving a little bit of context of New York. So from a food system perspective, New York City government is the 2nd largest food producer in the US, and that follows directly behind just the US military, so that's vast. That means in terms of quantity that on an annual basis, we're providing over 238 million meals and snacks to people across New York City, and that equates to $700 million in food purchased annually. So if we think about where that lives or where that's happening in public schools, senior centers, child care centers, homeless shelters, jails, public hospitals, and a range of other environments through the city. So the scale of New York, while different from other places, allows us to really impact millions living in the city directly, but also to really think about how our governance practices can have a ripple effect to other cities in terms of the benefits that the market creates, and thinking about some of the strategies that we're using. So some of the things that I'm going to talk about here today are directly relevant to very small communities to very large ones. So one of the things that I think is important that we've realized in New York is that we're really thinking about how we're not just focusing solely on what to do in terms of those the content, but on how we're actually doing it. So New York City has a citywide strategic framework that Mayor de Blasio created called One NYC, or now NYC 2050, because we're looking out much further into the future. So the plan is very wide in terms of the range of topics, but one of the things that is really relevant to this meeting is that every single chapter and all of the content are directly tied to the SDGs. So we're thinking really critically about how we're tying our city solutions and strategies to the broader global context and thinking about how we're measuring that change. So that said, there's a lot of work happening. There's a lot of work still to go in terms of what we really want to see unfold there. That directly translates into the thinking that we're doing around food policy, food governance. And one of the lines of thinking that we've really taken on from the mayor's charge in creating New York as the fairest big city in the US are 3 real principles that are driving our governance strategy. And the first one is food equity. So where all people have access to enough healthy food, and that we look at that as a human right. Inclusivity, that all people in our city are valued and have a seat at the leadership table in terms of making those decisions or contributing to the thinking that goes along with that work. And the third that I think is really important and speaks to some of our strategies is around creating wealth for all communities. Because we know that communities that are seeing themselves as having wealth or agency have health, and that there's a direct relationship in the way that we do that work. So some of the strategies that we're really doing to move these ideas or principles. The first is really moving beyond programmatic projects in specific areas or agencies to actually have a cross-agency body of agencies working collaboratively to think about that North Star of food equity or the bigger principles that we're working to achieve. And this is actually intentionally focused on developing a true true circular economy of food for our city. So, for example, one of the major bodies of work happening in food policy in New York is good food purchasing. And that is really working from the principle of procuring healthy food, but it also allows us to think about where that food is then used and how we're then returning it to recycled in terms of second use, composting, waste return. So we're connecting the threads between those areas of work. The second is around moving governance upstream to look at root causes and solutions. So I think we all can acknowledge that food and food systems are tied to many other systems. And in New York, we're really thinking about that food strategies alone are not going to actually create a healthy, sustainable food system. So we have to really look at social determinants around housing, transportation, economic health, community development. And we're engaging partners, both in terms of city partners and collaborators across the city, to think about developing solutions in those systems that have a direct and beneficial implication for creating solutions that allow us to think about how people or how food is healthy for themselves and healthy for the planet. And we're tying that messaging in. Two other pieces I think are important here around focusing on regional food systems. So obviously we talk a lot and acknowledge that urban communities are very related to where that food comes from, and that we really need to think about how we're looking at signaling that change to those producers, and then working with the broader markets to change how food that's coming into the city is really allowing us to drive on those principles.
Thank you very much indeed, Erin. Thank you for your practical advice for making sure that things get more interlinked, that agencies get interlinked, that other problems beyond food get interlinked and brought into the social strata of it, because that, and also the circular economy of food, from food to waste and so on. All very practical. We're all singing from the same hymn sheet, and we've heard lots of different points of view from different consonants, but they're all really saying quite a lot of the same material. And what we want to do is share best practices amongst all of you. So I'm going really to ask a general question, which I'd like each of you to answer quickly. We've heard so many good ideas already. How can we sustain greater momentum to ensure that the best practices will be replicated in your cities? Comment est-ce qu'on peut prendre ça et prendre l'énergie pour encourager toutes les bonnes idées de vos cités d'interactionner? Qu'est-ce que vous allez prendre? Qu'est-ce qui vous allez motiver plus loin? Armand.
Il faut dire que chez nous, à Ouaga, il y a ce qu'on appelle la ceinture verte, qui est une ceinture qui existe depuis 1975, qui a été créée par le gouvernement grâce à l'aide de la GIZ pour freiner l'avancée du désert. Mais cette ceinture verte n'existe aujourd'hui que dans l'esprit, parce que en lieu et place de cette ceinture, il y a les populations viennent y jeter des tas d'immondices. Maintenant, nous, notre municipalité, nous avons décidé depuis 2 ans de nous réapproprier cette ceinture verte en faisant une plantation d'arbres. Et ces plantations d'arbres, nous les faisons tous les ans pendant la saison des pluies. Il faut dire qu'au Burkina Faso, nous avons 2 saisons. Il y a la saison sèche et la saison des pluies. La saison de pluie commence au mois de mai et finit au mois d'octobre. Et après, c'est la saison sèche. Pendant la saison de pluie, nous, grâce à l'engagement des sociétés, la responsabilité sociale des entreprises, nous les mobilisons vers cette ceinture verte pour planter des arbres et nous les confions en entretien à des associations féminines que nous installons et nous leur procurons également un forage d'eau pour pouvoir arroser les arbres. Mais à côté de l'arrosage des arbres, elles font également du maraîchage où elles font pousser de la salade, des carottes, des légumes. Excellent. Donc pour pouvoir se sortir elles-mêmes de la pauvreté grâce à la vente de ces légumes sur les marchés, et en même temps, elles entretiennent ces arbres. Et depuis 2 ans, nous sommes aujourd'hui à 5 hectares d'aménagés, et tous les ans, nous allons rajouter 5 hectares, et nous espérons ainsi arriver à reboucler cette ceinture verte et à faire une économie circulaire de telle sorte que les femmes puissent avoir un revenu.
Merci
et
à
puissent
Armand,
produire
c'est
des
très bien. Je
légumes
vous coupe là
de
parce
bonne
qu'on
qualité.
a très
Merci.
peu de temps. Les réponses courtes, mais très bonnes réponses. Merci Armand. Merci. Alors maintenant Raymond.
Bueno, yo creo que vuelvo a insistir con esto de listen to the city, ¿no? De escuchar a las ciudades. Nosotros hemos trabajado mucho en el marco de distintas redes de ciudades, de gobiernos de ciudades, en América del Sur, también en distintos espacios a nivel mundial, como CGLU, Metrópolis. Yo creo que hace falta una participación más profunda en términos de gobernanza en multinivel. Creo que hace falta un compromiso más grande. Tal vez lo que dijo Philippe cuando inició con sus palabras en términos de poder entender que los cambios se producen en las ciudades, pero que no solamente los gobiernos subnacionales, los gobiernos federales, los organismos en general internacionales tienen que ayudar a las ciudades, sino que tenemos que buscar que los cambios culturales penetren, se lleven adelante en todos los ámbitos de la sociedad. Por eso yo contaba que para nosotros el disparador son los niños. Bueno, me parece que a través de las redes, a través de la participación, todos los caminos necesarios para poder lograr los objetivos del desarrollo sostenible y cumplir con la Agenda 2030, que evidentemente es un gran desafío.
Muchas gracias Ramón. Philippe. Côté franc.
Je voudrais dire que nous devons changer nos réflexes. Nous devons changer nos pensées. Nous devons faire une petite révolution intérieure. Par exemple, lorsque nous utilisons les voyages en avion avec les élus, toute l'année, dans les villes du monde où la ville de Montpellier et la métropole sont représentées, eh bien, dès cette année, nous voterons une délibération pour évaluer le bilan carbone et assurer les compensations en termes de plantation d'arbres. Nous le ferons parce que les villes méditerranéennes, comme des villes africaines, mais comme des villes aussi dans tous les continents, n'ont pas assez de plantation d'arbres. Et la canopée des arbres est souvent trop faible, surtout lorsqu'il y a des grandes catastrophes comme les incendies d'Amazonie aujourd'hui. Donc nous allons mettre en place cette compensation carbone au travers d'associations qui vont planter des arbres pour tous les voyages des élus à la ville et à la métropole.
Absolument. En Angleterre, c'est la même chose. Là, on va planter les arbres. Et maintenant, à vous, Manuel, s'il vous plaît. Your turn, Manuel.
Yes, I think I would agree with my predecessor, Mayor Sorrell, when he mentioned that what's most important here is that we need a paradigm change. The current development model, I mean, it goes through overproduction and then industrialization and so on, and then overconsumption. So what we need to really to do is to change that logic so that we can have a better society without going through the current European model, if we want to call it, which is based on, first of all, industrialization and then overproduction and overconsumption. We need to link development to sustainability. We need to look at the development models so that they can be health-friendly, they can be following climate change logics, and even our food systems need to follow that path to be more sustainable, to be more climate-friendly. And one of the ways of doing that is by running programs and projects aimed at behavioral change. We need to change the way both producers and consumers look, first of all, at the development model, but also and including the food system that they use in practice.
Thank you, Ramon. And finally, Erin.
Thanks. So I would say three things in addition to what's been named. I think overall the overarching perspective is really bringing directly more alignment and understanding, either through research and practice, how health and nutrition connects to sustainability. 3 points I think critically important. First, people have to see themselves as actors and be able to not only understand that they're able to engage to make a difference, but be able to show more directly the buildable effect of their personal investments. Second, having a broader set of actors at the table where we can really articulate their role and the value proposition of working collaboratively. And I think third, and relevant for this meeting and folks that are here for the PAC conversation, is really having deeper content conversations between cities to really dig in and have more momentum to really be thinking about and engaging over the course of year and time, how some of these ideas can translate into different contexts.
Fantastic. We are now on time, which is miraculous, and although I would have done a few more questions, there are so many ideas to digest already that I think we will call a halt to this session. We've heard so fantastic ideas that can immediately be put into operation: planting trees, dealing with food so that we don't have waste, so we don't have undernutrition, we don't have overnutrition, we have quality of food, we grow our food locally and organically if possible, we source it properly, and a very good point from Manuel, we link development to sustainability. We no longer think progress industrially, we think towards nature, towards balance on the planet, balance and harmony in the world. So actually, they say that a trouble shared is a trouble halved, but an idea shared, I think, is an idea multiplied. So from one city, other cities, you can see that on one theme about food, so many ideas are already multiplying. This is just the beginning of our conference. And so I hope that this will develop in the next 2 days and spread between cities of the world. I would like to say a very big thank you to the tolerance, patience, and discipline of our speakers, to Armand, to Raymond, to Philippe, to Manuel, and to Erin. Thank you all very, very much indeed. Now it's time for photographs, so if all the representatives of the cities go please to level 3 for the photos, you will be told where to go outside. And everybody else, we need to be back in 15 minutes. 15 minutes is 5 minutes past 11. Thank you very much. 5 past 11 on the dot, ici, je commence. Merci. Will you please take your seats now? 1 minute till we start the regional session. Please take your seats. "30 seconds to go. Please take your seats quickly." Excellent. Oh, silence, marvelous. Welcome back from very sunny tea time and very sunny photographs. I hope you managed to just relax a tiny bit. This is our last session of this morning before lunch, so all the speakers once more will hopefully be nice and brief, but there will be a lot of material to digest. We are turning now to the outcomes of the MUFPP regional meetings. Regional is relatively new and a good way of coming together between groups of cities in groups of areas to share in a very small and productive way to get down to grassroots and to share ideas. So it was recently the initiative of MFPP working more closely in the regions, and this includes a working group food, which is within the Euro Cities section. There are 51 European cities which already belong. And they met earlier this year in Ghent in Belgium, and just yesterday they met here in Montpellier. The same regional system applies in North America and also in Africa. Africa Regional Fora took place in Dakar, Senegal, which was the first city in Africa where regionalism started in 2016. In Brazzaville, Republic of Congo, in 2018, in Niamey, in Niger, in June 2019, and next year it will be in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Latin America followed suit, and Rio de Janeiro held its first regional forum last May. The regionalism process came out of the need of MUFPP cities to share their food-related policies and practices together to get a synergy, to get more ideas coming out of a small regional area. So, how do you think it's all working out? Well, in fact, regionalization has had many positive results, which we will be hearing shortly. It's boosted sharing best practice between cities and continents. It also brings the perfect chance for cities to meet, to get to know each other, to talk, and to build relationships and partnerships. This year, the result of regional fora in Latin America and Africa produced 2 declarations, the Niamey Declaration and the Rio Declaration. And we're about to hear from our distinguished speakers across the continents because they'll reveal the outcomes of their last regional meetings. So first, we go to Rio, to Antonio Fernando Cruz de Melo, Head of International Relations at Rio City Hall. It is a great pleasure to welcome you here, Ambassador, and we look forward to hearing you talk. Thank you. From here? Yeah, that's fine.
Good morning. Bonjour. Bom dia. Buenos dias. First of all, it's an honor to be here. And also, je voulais remercier beaucoup l'hospitalité de la ville de Montpellier, de M. Philippe Sorel, qui m'a reçu hier d'une façon très chaleureuse, très amicale, comme en étant de nous donner de bienvenue à cette merveilleuse ville. Bon, last year, now I turn to English. Last year, in order to strengthen the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, security and sustainable development, and public policies for food security and sustainable development in Latin America. The city of Rio de Janeiro took the lead to propose a creation of a regional alliance. This regional alliance is based on the alliances already established in North America, Europe, and Africa. Rio de Janeiro proposed the organization of an event which would encourage the exchange of information and knowledge about urban food systems that ensure success to healthy and quality food in Latin America. Inclusively, sustainable, efficient, nutritious, and healthy food systems in Latin America demand sectorial engagement of different stakeholders, actions in scale, and of significant ongoing impact. There is a need to shift the paradigm regarding how food is produced, consumed, and marketed in Latin America for us to be able to bridge local scale challenges, to seize opportunities, and reach sustainable solutions. We aim at bringing forward the voice of MUFPP signatory cities in the region and to support efforts towards implementing an ongoing dialogue among all the stakeholders, such as the local and national government, the civil society, the private sector, the international development agencies, and also financial agencies, in order to identify and improve areas of common action. Our goal is to promote food systems that meet the needs of producers and consumers, and that are aligned with the MUFPP framework of action, the Sustainable Development Goals, and the new urban agenda. Between 20th and 31st May of this year, we organized a regional forum under the title Food in Latin America Cities and Territories, Improving Sustainability, Enhancing Identity, and Tackling Inequalities. The title was proposed to underline themes that are important for Latin American cities and to highlight the interactions between cities and regions, natural resources, food and nutrition security, healthy diets, and livelihoods. At that time, Rio gathered representatives of Belo Horizonte, Buenos Aires, Ciudad de México, Curitiba, Guarulhos, Lima, Mérida, Porto Alegre, San Antonio de Areco, São Paulo, and from the central region of Colombia. Many of these representatives are here today. We counted also on representatives of FAO, UN Habitat, PAHO, WHO, C40, and E-clay. Over 3 days, more than 200 specialists discussed about contributions in a more inclusive food policy agenda with a focus on inequalities, identities, and communities in Latin America. We found 3 territorial themes of inequality, identity, and sustainability. These were central during the works of the Forum in Latin America. Considering the common goal of achieving sustainable and ethical food systems, the debate was shaped around the impacts and ways to overcome food inequalities driven by political, economic, geographic, and social factors, which affect socially vulnerable communities. Different food cultures represent an important reality in the region and are underlined with territorial context, interlinked with territorial context and people's mobility. We have to discuss whether and how food is a unifying element in local, national, and regional context, and food customs and conditions in Latin America. At the end, after all presentations, the experience shared and the lessons learned, the city's representatives came together to sign the Rio Declaration, a political commitment from Latin American local governments that set a roadmap toward joint action on sustainable food system in a context-based perspective. I would like to highlight that Rio de Janeiro is open to cooperation, and cooperation with all cities in the world, throughout the world. And I would like also to highlight that we have different important programs that tackle the issue of sustainable food security. One of them is our so-called Hortas Cariocas. This is a very nice experiment that you had in Rio de Janeiro, and this consists of growing crops inside the city by vulnerable people and by students, by people in the schools. We have 42 different Hortas Cariocas. These are green gardens that we have in the city of Rio de Janeiro. We are producing today 7.2 million tons of vegetables and fruits that are distributed throughout the schools and vulnerable families in Rio de Janeiro for free. And this is health food, produced in an organic manner and with great results for our communities. And this program is open to everybody. And I would like to say, last but not least, that we want to shift from these Hortas Cariocas, these green gardens, to what we call the aquaponics, because we need to increase these programs of food security in our city. And our ideas and our projects is open to everyone. Everyone wants to contribute to our platform of food security is most welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Antonio Fernando Cruz de Mayo. I like your point about the fact that food inequality also relates to social inequality. I think when we have more equality around the world, there will also be less places with undernutrition and fewer places with too much nutrition and too much bad food. It should equal out more. Thank you for your talk. Next we go to Africa and Mr. Tujani Hassoumi. Mr. Tujani Hassoumi, who is the Director of Environment at Les Aménagements Paysagers for the city of Niamey in Niger. It's been a pleasure to meet you and talk to you last night, Mr. Hassoumi, and we look forward to you saying a few brief words now. Thank you.
Merci. Permettez-moi de porter mes remerciements à Monsieur le maire de Montpellier pour l'accueil et l'hospitalité. Bonjour à tous les invités. Donc, je m'en vais vous présenter le résultat de fora africaine dans le cadre du pacte de Milan. Comme l'a souligné l'animatrice, le pacte de Milan en Afrique a commencé avec le forum de Dakar. Le forum de Dakar qui a regroupé 7 villes africaines. Voilà. C'était en 2016. Et le forum de Brazza en 2018. Niamey en 2019. À Dakar, 7 villes se sont donné rendez-vous et avec comme objectif de créer un réseau de villes africaines qui s'échangent de bonnes pratiques alimentaires urbaines. Une déclaration dite de Dakar s'en est sortie, accompagnée d'un schéma de recommandations adressé au comité directeur du MUFPP qui sont disponibles sur le site du MUFPP. À Brazza, il y a eu 13 villes qui se sont regroupées et avec comme objectif d'étendre le réseau des villes africaines adhérentes au pacte, ainsi que de favoriser les collaborations concrètes entre les villes sur la base d'échanges de compétences techniques et de bonnes pratiques alimentaires. Donc, le résultat de ce forum aussi est intitulé « Déclaration de Brazza » est disponible intégralement sur le site. À Niamey, le forum a eu lieu du 11 au 13 juin 2019 avec comme objectif de consolider les réseaux de villes africaines adhérentes au pacte de Milan en favorisant la collaboration concrète et les échanges de compétences et de bonnes pratiques alimentaires durables. Donc, après la présentation des bonnes pratiques, 4 groupes se sont formés afin de définir un plan de collaboration et de dialogue à court et moyen terme entre villes. Il faut noter qu'à Niamey, il y a 18 délégués qui se sont présentés, 18 délégués des villes africaines, plus 2 villes européennes, et qui ont participé donc aux travaux et soutenir la mise en œuvre des bonnes pratiques alimentaires durables au niveau des municipalités. Donc, les villes, on voit la présentation des différentes villes et différents maires qui sont présents. Les délégués donc, ont reconnu aussi, à l'issue de cet atelier de Niamey, et donc, dans le cadre du pacte de Milan, d'élaborer des stratégies avec l'urgence. Ils ont reconnu qu'il est urgent de renforcer la gouvernance locale des systèmes alimentaires au niveau des municipalités, tout en prenant acte de la diversité des processus et des actions entreprises. Les villes se sont engagées à la constitution progressive d'instruments de pilotage en matière d'alimentation urbaine. Il faut reconnaître au cours de cet atelier de Niamey, 3 nouvelles villes ont signé les pactes de Milan, à savoir la ville d'Agadez et la ville de Gaïa au Niger et la ville de Ouaga. Le maire de Ouaga était présent à Niamey, il a signé, c'était l'occasion, il a signé le pacte de Milan à Niamey. Et le maire de Niamey a passé donc le flambeau pour l'organisation du 4e forum africain qui aura lieu donc à Ouaga en 2020. Donc, pour la rencontre de Ouaga, les informations seront aussi disponibles sur le site bientôt. Niamey, qui a signé le pacte depuis 2015, Et à la lumière de cet atelier qui a eu lieu à Niamey, la ville s'est engagée davantage dans cette lancée, notamment par des actions et des initiatives de bonnes pratiques alimentaires urbaines, durables, dont elle est prête à partager avec les villes sœurs du monde. Donc, dans les domaines de la sécurité foncière surtout, la ville de Niamey a fait beaucoup de réalisations, notamment en matière de récupération et la sauvegarde, et l'aménagement des sites des espaces verts, notamment la corniche, et la maîtrise de l'étalement urbain, avec l'arrêt complètement des lotissements privés, et la mise en œuvre des documents d'urbanisme tels que le plan prévisionnel d'inondation, le schéma directeur d'aménagement, le plan urbain de référence, et bien d'autres projets tels que la maison du paysan, tels que l'initiative Niamey Ville fruitière, et aussi les jardins partagés dans les périphéries de la ville de Niamey. Et Niamey est prêt à partager ses expériences avec toutes les villes africaines et toutes les villes du monde. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. C'est dommage de couper tout le monde, mais vous avez très très bien dit les pratiques d'alimentation durable des différentes villes de votre région, comment vous les améliorez. Merci beaucoup. Notre prochaine, our next speaker is Andrea Magarini, who speaks for Eurocities and chair of Eurocities Working Group for Food. Thank you for coming in at the last moment, Monsieur Magarini, and for being brief as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this invitation. It's very an honor to be here to address all of you about our work that we have done, we are doing in Europe. We have just heard it from our colleague from Africa and Latin America, and we think that the regionalization process is one of the starting point for a durable collaboration among cities. We can exchange our experience with colleagues that have the same context, so it's much more easy to start a dedicated relation. We decide to do this also in Europe in order to create a permanent space of debate with also a friendly context. And we build a relation with Eurocities that was an existing network of European cities that since 2017 decided to establish a dedicated working group on food. Eurocities work with different topics, with different working group, and after the launch of the Milan Pact, the executive committee of Eurocities decided to create one fully dedicated to food. And we met twice a year in different European cities. One time in spring, hosted by one of our cities, and one time when the meeting of the Milan Pact is hosted by European cities during the annual gathering. And yesterday, as the moderator has already mentioned, we have met here among more or less 20 cities to speak about governance and political commitment. Each meeting have a dedicated topic, and the team is decided together. I want to share with you the list of the meeting that we organize since 2017. The first year we will be in Birmingham, hosted by the city of Birmingham, to speak about nutrition and urban innovation. And we try also to do some field visit in order to also become very concrete and see the result that our cities are doing. Then we were hosted in Valencia during the third annual gathering of the Pact. And the year before, in Amsterdam about food waste, and that time we exchange also knowledge with another working group of Eurocities about waste, and we speak about food waste. And we're one of our big, most participated meeting, gathering 33 European cities. Then in Lyon, on urban agriculture, also in that case, we organized one dedicated study visit to their practices. This year, in the spring, we were hosted from the city of Ghent about the climate impact, and also in that case, we organized a field visit in the experiences that Ghent presented last year in the Milan Pact Awards, and that they win, so the Food Saver Ghent. In different meetings, we also try to address and to involve some other European institutions, European bodies, institutions, and also organizations. For example, some European officers take part in our meeting, and we are happy to be together with them, also to facilitate the cross-pollination among ideas and the work that we want to implement. Not just only for European officers, but also with European-based organizations like IPES Food, like Ellen MacArthur Foundation that yesterday was with us, with IT Foundation that we invite in Ghent. So it's a moment, a space of debate in which European cities and also other organizations that are working on urban food policies can be met and address each other on the goal that we want to achieve together. One of the results that we are proud is that in one of the big European call, the Horizon 2020 that was just launched, a dedicated call of 38 million euros was launched, and the Milan Pact was quote in the preamble of that quote, in the framework of an European initiative, and European framework policies that is named Food 2030, that is one of our main addresses in the European context. We also take part in the European Platform for Food Losses and Food Waste, and we are doing this effort with our support of the City of Milan, that is chairing this effort since 2017, and with also the big support of the City of Warsaw, that serves as vice chair of this working group food. And my colleague Natalia Boytot is here, and she facilitates all of our meeting. We are trying to raise the voice of the cities inside the European Council presidencies. During each Council presidency, we organize a conference on food, and we take part in the conference of Vienna, of Plovdiv in Bulgaria, of Bucharest, presenting the results that all of our European cities are doing. We are not for sure closed only to the European membership, but we are open to all the Milan Pact European cities, and we try each time to invite the other. For sure, it's much more simple and much more easy during the annual gathering, but we are trying also to the meeting outside the annual gathering. So this is a really short description of what we are doing, and we are really proud because we see that a lot of energy are growing in Europe, and we are trying to facilitate our relation among European cities, Milan Pact, and also the European institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for making it short, but you got a lot of material in, Andrea Magarini. Thank you. And next will be, and last really, we'll be hearing from Mr. Beltan Ami. But first I call on the Vice Mayor of Tel Aviv, Reunvo Ladansky, and he'll be saying a few words before Eltan speaks. Eltan's speech, which was long, is now very much shorter, and a quick word from the Mayor, Reunvan Ladansky. Thank you.
Don't worry, it will be short.
Thank you.
Good morning, partners, friends, guests. On behalf of the city of Tel Aviv-Yafo, we want to thank the city of Montpellier for hosting the 219 MUFPP Annual Summit. As the chair of the steering committee, we will do all needs to be done in order to keep the pact moving forward to the benefit of the cities and food programs. I do thank as well to the committed team from the city of Milan that are working hard to keep the pact vibrant. Thank you, Mr. Philip Sorel, for hosting us, and let's us all have a wonderful summit. And thank you all, and have a nice day.
Excellent. I really appreciate the short speeches. The last one will be Eltan Ben Abi, who is coming up now. Eltan actually had a long speech, but even Eltan unfortunately has to cut it short. He comes from Tel Aviv-Yafo city. He's Environmental Protection Ministry Director for the city of Tel Aviv in Israel, coordinating the steering committee of the Milan Pact from now until 2021. You'll be speaking about the new mechanisms of collaboration between different cities, drawing on your own experience in Tel Aviv. Thank you, Eltan Ben Ami.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. This should be the more practical session where we in the steering committee wants to make sure that the pact is moving forward and expanding as much as necessary. Do I have the slide with me, or?
Somebody has to give.
Thank you very much. It's, okay, a few words about the steering committee and the Milan secretary that are actually behind it. This is a picture because since the signature event in Milan, many cities joined the pact. Now we are about 220 cities. I think there were about 120, 130 when they signed. So this was the event where the signature was, the pact was signed. Since then, because the pact is growing and more cities wants to be part of it, there was a structure and an agenda to the steering committee. The first time that there is a chair to the steering committee, which is Tel Aviv now, working together with the cities that were mentioned before from all over the world, together with the secretarial from Milan, to make sure that we can move forward, and it is an organized structure. The conventions so far were in Milan, in Rome, Tel Aviv, Valencia, and Montpellier this year, and also the regional gathering. And the presentation before me about the regional gathering is a very important tool that we're going to want to expand in the future. There are many opportunities for the pact and the cities, because it's actually we spread all around the world, and we try to work with the indicators and to bring the results and the challenges to our managements in order for them to take steps toward better food systems, like we heard from the mayor of Montpellier and of course other mayors around the world. There's also 50 best practices that I'm not sure if every city sent, but there are a lot of practices, I think over 200 now, that cities can watch and enjoy, because as we speak to each other, we understand that the challenges are almost the same all over the world, and the opportunities to find solution that somebody else already try is there, and you can go and seek for them. And I think that we should send the link directly to the over there. As I said, over 200 cities. We calculated about 400 million people that lives in these cities can benefit from what we're going to do. This is the last steering committee that we had last year, and the decision was that the steering committee is going to be more active, and the members of the steering committee to have certain groups, technical groups that are going to deal with issues. So we're talking here about two ways to be involved. One of them is regional meetings, like you just heard before, that will talk about things that are interest of a region. And then there are subjects that are interesting for everybody. So we want to encourage that, and we have a few of them. And as you know, because there is a variety of city here, from small cities to enormous cities, there needs to be a variety of subjects and groups in order to deal with that. But some of the basic things are the same, and that's why we have to collaborate. This was a survey among organizations that works in the food area, and as you can see, the results are very clear that the only bodies that can really affect the food policies and what the citizens are going to eat and the children are the cities. This is important knowledge, because we cannot wait for governments or organizations. We have to work with them, but we have to lead. And we know better than many of the people that are not in the municipalities what the citizens need and what we can do. The one before the last one is the call for action. The call for action that we have, we already launched a few technical groups. One of them, Rio took it upon itself, and they talk about food and nutrition security. It has a lot to do. For example, I'll give you the pillars of the program. Talks about availability, about access, about utilization and stability of the food system. We need cities to join Rio in that matter. We work with the other cities about collaborating with the international organization. There are so many organizations out there, and also NGO, and also sponsors that wants to be part of the Milano food program, because not too many networks have so many cities there that if an organization wants to promote something, it can do it through our channel. And also we can, through the regional meetings and through the technical groups, seek and look for which organization can support us and maybe sponsor some of the program. This is a very strong network, and we see it because cities just want to keep joining us. The other groups is going to work on the roadmap of the committee of the PAC, because the question that we asked yesterday in the steering committee, what will happen if we'll have 300 or 400 cities wants to join? This is a huge organization. There need to be some structure. So the steering committee itself is going to discuss it through the year to make sure that we know where are we developing and what do we want to do with that and how we want to take it forward. And the other one is going to be the indicators. We always want to check what are we doing and if we're doing it well. And we have partner for that with the FAO, and we need cities to join and to help us to do it. And I will sum up and I'll say that the challenge that we have is all through the year. We won't be able to solve or to make a progress if we'll go from one annual meeting to the other. We have to work in between, and we ask cities, and we're going to send also to cities challenges to join some of the groups that I talked about. We're going to challenge cities to take regional meetings upon themselves, successful as it was in Africa and in South America and in Europe. We need to encourage such regional meetings in Asia, and we're going to work for that, including a group that should work on the declaration of Montpellier, so it won't stay a paper. They need to be a work on that, so people will know what to do with it and how to take it forward. I thank you very much for hosting the summit here in Montpellier. It's wonderful, and later we're going to declare the cities that are going to host in the future. And I'm happy to say that there were a lot of cities wanted to host, so it shows that the strength of the PAC. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much indeed, Eltan. I feel we're in good hands because the important thing is not just the ideas, but the way you're checking back and the way you're having meetings between meetings and making sure. So it's not just empty words. It's very, very inspiring. Thank you for all you've said. And also thank you to Anton De Mejo, to Gianni Hasumi, and to Andrea Farini, all our speakers just now. And before you go and enjoy the wonders of the good food in Montpellier for our lunch, I'm just going to briefly outline this afternoon. We return precisely at 13:30, so aim for 13:15 to be here to start at 13:30. It's devoted to 2 separate sessions, each with small breakaway groups and practical discussions. The first hour is about population needs and food systems. And then at 14:30, small groups again, looking at ways of implementing a sustainable food systems. Between the 2 sessions, you'll get the chance, if you want, to organize formal and informal get-togethers between cities in the Mayor's Hall. And of course, you can also go to the press room and talk to the media. You've probably got all your afternoon details for your breakaway groups, but if you don't have them, then go to level 0 in the quorum, and you will find it at the information. You can get all the information there. Speakers, moderators, and bénévoles are invited to the 3rd floor at the back, where we will have a warm, tasty briefing, so it'll be eating and briefing. And the rest of you, a very nice lunch too. I must say, from my point of view, it's been a wonderful 3 hours. I've hardly ever heard so many good, exciting, positive ideas in such a short time. And if what Eltan says is true, we must gather up these ideas and double check and show how they're being implemented so that they don't get lost, but we build on these ideas. Make the most of your lunch. I'll see you again at 13:30. So it's been a pleasure to be your moderator this morning. I'll see you again tomorrow. In the meantime, guten Appetit, bon appétit, buon provecho, eet smakelijk, and guten Appetit. Goodbye.